In the heart of Europe, inside a quiet city known for its calm streets and orderly life, a storm no one expected was about to unfold. A single boy, just 15 years old, blonde-haired, pale, quiet, had managed to shake one of the biggest banks in the country. His name was Leon Hartmann, and he was now standing inside a crowded courtroom facing the consequences of a decision that could change his entire future. The courtroom was filled to the last seat. Bank employees sat in one row, stiff and angry. Journalists whispered among themselves, their cameras already focused on the boy. In the front row sat Leon's parents, exhausted, frightened, and unsure how their son's life had spiraled into this moment. His lawyer, calm but clearly worried, stood beside him. The judge, an elderly man with sharp eyes, opened the file and read the charges. According to the investigation, Leon had breached the bank's cybersecurity system and redirected 2.4 million euros into a hidden digital wallet. When the news broke, it spread across Europe like wildfire. A child, a minor, had outsmarted a multinational financial institution. Everyone waited for the boy's response. Leon stood silently, hands trembling, eyes locked on the wooden floor beneath his feet. When the judge finally asked, "Do you admit to committing this act?" the courtroom held its breath. Leon nodded slowly. "Yes, I did it." A wave of murmurs went through the room, but before the judge could continue, Leon added softly, "I didn't do it for myself." His lawyer stepped forward, explaining what Leon struggled to say out loud. Leon's mother had been diagnosed with a serious medical condition. Her surgery was urgent, expensive, and far beyond what the family could afford. Leon, brilliant with computers, but young and desperate, believed he could fix everything on his own. He thought he was saving her life. He never imagined he could lose his own future in the process. Leon's parents began to cry silently as the truth filled the room. Even some spectators were moved. The story of a child trying to save his mother touched something deep inside them. But the bank employees were unmoved. To them, the law was the law. The money might have been returned, but the breach itself was an attack, a humiliation, a threat. Then came the lawyer's final plea. He argued that Leon was not a criminal. He was a child who made a terrible decision under unbearable pressure. He harmed no one physically. He took no joy in what he did. He was frightened, alone, and convinced this was his only chance to save the person he loved the most. Punishing him like an adult would destroy a life that had barely begun. The judge listened silently, his hands clasped beneath his chin. The entire courtroom seemed frozen in time. Everyone waited. The crowd, the parents, the bank workers, the cameras. Even Leon held his breath, eyes trembling with fear. Finally, the judge stood. The entire room fell silent. He spoke slowly, firmly, weighing each word with care. Leon had indeed broken the law. He had entered a secure system without authorization, moved funds illegally, and disrupted a major financial institution. But he had done so without violence, without personal gain, and with motives rooted in fear and love, not greed. The judge declared that Leon would not receive the maximum penalty. Instead, he was sentenced to 3 years of probation, 400 hours of community service, and mandatory ethical cybersecurity education under government supervision. He would not be placed in a juvenile detention center. He would not be torn from his family. He would be given a chance, one last chance, to rewrite his future. Leon collapsed into tears. His parents rushed to his side, holding him tightly. In the back of the courtroom, people began to clap softly, supporting the decision. Even some who came for punishment now understood that justice was not always about severity. Sometimes it was about saving someone before they were truly lost. As Leon walked out of the courthouse into the bright afternoon light, he felt something he hadn't since the day everything went wrong: hope. His lawyer placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "This is not the end, Leon. This is your new beginning." And with that, the boy who once hacked a bank stepped into a second chance, one he promised himself he would never waste again.